Good evening and welcome to the latest news stories from around the world. First, the headlines. NUC begins implementation of new varsity curriculum in Nigeria. AU plans sanctions against Junta'S supporters. French airport to be named after late Queen Elizabeth II. Amazon makes it to others semi-finals. Details coming up shortly. Turning our attention to business, water transportation fare rises by 45%, says NBS. In June 2023, compared to the previous year, water transportation fares have surged by 45%, according to National Bureau of Statistics. The average fare for water transport now stands at 1,366 naira, showing a significant increase from 943 naira in June 2022. This rise in fares have been attributed to various factors impacting both water and air travel costs. Air travel fares also saw a modest uptick, with the average fare for specified route single journeys rising by 4.93%. In education matters, NUC begins implementation of new varsity curriculum in Nigeria. News reveals that the implementation of the Core Curriculum Minimum Academic Standards (CCMAS) is set to begin in September 2023. As announced by the National Universities Commission (NUC), the CCMAS aims to enhance the quality and innovation of academic programs in Nigerian universities. This initiative is expected to contribute to the development of a well-rounded graduates who possess both subject-specific knowledge and essential skills for the modern world. The NUC emphasizes the importance of a collaborative effort between institutions and the CCMAS. On politics, voting in Zimbabwe general election delayed by lack of ballot papers. Turning our attention to Zimbabwe, the general election has been marked by delays as voting began hours behind schedule due to logistical issues. This election comes amidst a backdrop of economic turmoil in the country. Zimbabweans are casting their vote for a president, legislators, and local authorities. Despite the delays, citizens are showing determination to make their voices heard. In shifting our focus to international affairs, AU plans sanctions against Junta'S supporters. The African Union AU is taking action against supporters of the military junta in Niger. The AU has requested its commission to compile a list of junta members and their backers for targeted sanctions. This decision comes in the wake of concerns about the ongoing political crisis in Niger following a recent coup. Meanwhile, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has already imposed sanctions on the junta as the international community closely watches the situation unfold. You are watching the news on topaccoladenews, and do stay with us. Still to come. And thanks for staying with us. Still on international affairs, suspected jihadist killed 12 Niger troops. And tragic news from Niger has suspected armed Islamists have claimed the lives of 12 soldiers in a remote southwestern region. This attack highlights the ongoing security challenges faced by the country since the military takeover. The incident comes as ECOWAS and other international organizations work to address the political and security crisis that has unfolded in the aftermath of the coup. Moving on, EU commissioners slam Putin on European Remembrance Day. In a statement with implications for international relations, the European Union (EU) commissioners have criticized Russian President Vladimir Putin ahead of the European Day of Remembrance for victims of totalitarian and authoritarian regimes. The EU expressed concerns about the recent invasion of Ukraine and its impact on Europe's stability. This move reinforces the EU's commitment to highlighting historical realities and rejecting attempts at distortion or revisionism. Away from that, French airport to be named after late Queen Elizabeth II. A tribute is in the making as officials in France have decided to rename the Paris airport after the late British monarch Queen Elizabeth II. The airport will soon be known as the Elizabeth II Paris International Airport. This renaming not only honors the Queen but also strengthens the ties between the French resort town and the UK. The inauguration date is yet to be determined. Moving on, US sanctions China officials over forced assimilation of children in Tibet. In a move to address human rights concerns, the United States is imposing visa sanctions on Chinese officials linked to what it is called forced assimilation of children in Tibet. This action comes as experts estimate that around 1 million Tibetan children have been separated from their families due to state boarding schools. The United States is taking this step to draw attention to coercive policies that aim to erase Tibet's distinct cultural and linguistic traditions. In the world of sports, Amusan makes it to others semi-finals. Nigerian hurdler Toby Amusan has made a triumphant return to the tracks at the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, Hungary. Despite a month-long absence due to a provisional suspension, Amusan dominated the women's 100-meter hurdles heats, winning with a time of 12.48 seconds. This performance positions her well for successfully defending her title as the World Women's 100 meters hurdles champion. She is set to compete in the semi-finals tomorrow, aiming to secure a spot in the final. And that concludes our coverage on the news updates. Before we go, let's take another look at the major stories. NUC begins implementation of new varsity curriculum. AU plans sanctions against Junta'S supporters. French airport to be named after late Queen Elizabeth II. Amazon makes it to others semi-finals. And thanks for joining us. I am Jonathan Poway. Stay connected for more news around the world. Do have a wonderful day.